So due to the weather, we had to bug out of Nauni before we wanted to and head for Asanvari. So we spent a night outside the lagoon at this first anchorage, but then we felt, let's try inside, it might be even better, and it was. So this first anchorage here still had a bit of roll going in there, although it was reasonably sheltered from the wind. So the second night we went inside the lagoon, we had to pass over a bit of reef to get in there, so we're a little bit nervous about it on getting in so late in the day on the first day. So yeah, anyway, next day we tried the inside, and yeah, it was better. We only had one night in each of the two anchorages. We're just trying to avoid the worst of this 20 to 30 knots that we had blowing up the coast, and once that died down we were able to get back over to Maewo and enjoy the waterfall island. So although we didn't really leave the boat while we were at these two anchorages, it rained most of the time we were there, I did jump in the water and have a snorkel around these cliff faces. They looked really interesting, and they were. So this is a natural rock, it's not man-made, although it looks it. So this bigger building coming into image there is a hospital slash medical centre. It services Maewo, Pentecost and Asanvari islands. And this reef here is what we had to cross to get into this lagoon. So we ended up with 3.8 metres going through there at high tide, which meant we had about a metre and a half, 1.8 metres under the keel. So it was easy compared to Turtle Bay. And it also has some leading marks, so that made it even easier. So we're moving on. Weather's cleared a little bit. Still a bit blowy, but it's half of what it was. Anyway, can't pronounce this place, so it's on the screen there. So here's the new bay we're in. Just a quick little overview here. Water temp still in the high 20s, 28, 29. And this island, I've mentioned it before about all the waterfalls. It's very mountainous and it gets a lot of rainfall. It's the highest rainfall of any island in Vanuatu. Hence all the waterfalls, I'm assuming. But you look at this pretty little place. Look how remote this is, you know, those 4 little houses there, just living there in solitude. So we're just going to shoot up the coast via the dinghy and visit a place called the Moon Cave, but first we've got to go and see the chief at the village to get his permission and guidance. So Grandad, your clothes have been put to good use. These kids just helped us get the dinghy up. So we offered them some clothes for their help. We couldn't have lifted it up the steep beach without them. The main transport around here. These boys are going to take us to see the chief. Gotta get across the sty. Yeah, water everywhere. Concrete house there, no windows, but solid. Cows roam free in the village, no fences. So this is the chief. He was very camera shy, so I didn't really get much shots of him. So as usual, Fran gets special attention, this time from the chief.
This one, look at the moon.
The moon?
Moon.
Okay.
Found out there.
Oh, yeah.
Surface of the moon.
Yes.
Another entrance there.
Hello.
The kids have followed us. So the chief had a bit of a story about how the cave was formed, but all boils down to a legend that it was formed when the god Tagora tore a huge rock out of the island and threw it into the sky to create the moon. So here's a snippet of the chief telling his story, but realistically I couldn't understand much of it.
Take the moon, throw it up to the south, break this cave.
Yes?
Maybe to the south, it looks like north. South, the moon is light. North, east.
So we're heading back to our anchorage bay now, exploring the coast as we go, and we come across this waterfall. There's plenty of waterfalls around. So while we're standing under this beautiful tree for the rain to stop, some people came down through the stream we'd just been up from the valley. They'd been at their gardens. They weren't terribly talkative. The girls wanted to stop and chat, but the dad kept ushering them along. They were from the super remote village over the hill, and I bet they never get to talk to tourists. So in this pretty bay that is crazy windy. We're lucky to be sheltering in this one actually, but it is gusting up and over these hills here. I won't go out there just yet, but there's a mountain range just here, and it's coming off the hills. We're getting gusts of 35 knots. I have seen 40, but it's regularly hitting 35. But yeah, I've had a pretty wild few days actually. Anyway, I'm going to take you outside. You probably won't hear me, and I'll show you a waterfall. I'm probably not going to get to fly the drone. I'd love to fly the drone and get up there and have a look, but that's not going to happen in this wind. So it's quite a pretty place. The village is down there. That's where we just went. Moon Cave is right there. Anyway, this hill here is quite pretty. There's the waterfall. A lot of white caps going on. So we're quite lucky we're sheltered in here, I suppose. There's the wind's getting stronger. We're out here now. Oh, there was a big white patch before. Where is it? Kind of there. So we're still here in Vanuatu. You can see the waterfall up there. And got the place to ourselves as usual. Sun's going down, wind's dropping slowly. We're down to about 20-25 knots now. Has been 30 to 35 or even 40. We've seen 40 a couple of times. Anyway, stay here tonight and bit of luck I'll get to fly the drone tomorrow. But more than likely we'll just head off and go down to the next spot. But she's been beautiful. It's funny. They look at us, we look at them. What a stunningly beautiful waterfall that was. And look how high it was. It's huge. Would have loved to have been able to walk up to the base of it. But not that you could see much. I mean, there's the base there. It's all surrounded in bush. Can't even see the stream running down through the gully. Bet there's a lot of little mini waterfalls all the way down there. Anyway, we had to get the drone back. A shower of rain came and caught me up. Had to race back to the boat. Well, we're leaving this anchorage that I can't pronounce the name of. And finally, got to check out the waterfall with the drone, which is up there. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, I had to cut it short though because a shower of rain came through, of course. So, but at least the wind died enough to be able to do it. Anyway, we're heading down past here, next bay, be about 2 hours sail away. So, going to be a bit more sheltered than this one, but I mean, you can't shelter from the rain, I suppose, so who knows what it'll be like really. Anyway, we're about to get into the wind, so get to get these sails up. So as we were cruising down the coast, we had gone in quite close so we could see the various waterfalls along the place. And this one here, I threw the drone up in the air and got a bit of a closer look at this one. So another beautiful waterfall on our way to Asanvari Bay and village. So better catch up to the boat before it leaves me behind. So this is Asanvari Bay. Bit of a shock. 4 boats in the bay. Haven't had that for almost a month since Luganville. Anyway, this is Asanvari village. And this is the end of Maewo Island. So the southern point. Anyway, these boats we ended up loosely travelling with 2 of the other boats for about a week and a half. So we're going to pop into the village now and see what's going on. So when we first got to the bay, there was one other boat here. He had arrived about an hour before us. His name was Patrick, and he was a French solo sailor. Carver Bar, right next to the school. It's quite cool how there's these paths and hedges all around. So we're on the exposed side of the island now. Not that much wind really, considering the gusts we had earlier. Anyway, very pretty home in here. Very well kept. So that's the top of Pentecost there. And out there, we've got the open ocean. So Pentecost, open ocean. So this one's seen better days.
Look at the worst house on the street.
Best street, yeah. Worst house, best street. Standard tarot. Must be out working somewhere. So there's the church. There's the church bell. And then right beside it, well, there's a nice little plant there, but right beside it is the gardens. These nuts there, they eat them. Makes their mouth go red. And makes them drunk, apparently. Haven't tried it ourselves.
Fran, get out of the trees.
So then we met this lovely family that offered us some bananas and vegetables. Didn't want anything for it, but we gave them some clothes. So this is what they're going to call a bungalow. So I'm assuming they're going to rent it out. There is some bungalows up the other end that they're currently renting, and there's actually people in them at the moment. But anyway, this is going to be pretty cool when it's finished. This obviously was a building before, and they're having to rebuild it. Maybe the cyclone's got it. Oh, that beam's holding something up. Anyway, it's been a toilet, shower. This guy sailed this boat, and it's only little, only room to sit down, from New Caledonia to Vanuatu. Now he's sailing around Vanuatu, 3 people. Anyway, we're going cruising with these goods. So this is the main waterfall close to the village. It's actually really close to Yin Yang too. We can hear this waterfall from the boat. So I actually jumped in off this rock as well with the kids and I went feet first. I'm glad I did because it was super shallow, it was about chin deep. So the next day, Patrick and I went for a hike with Erica, and these two kids were trying to follow us, but Erica wouldn't let them come for the walk to the waterfall. Erica is basically a tour manager. She runs the shop, the bungalows, and any tours that the visitors want to do. And this is Patrick and Erica. Very steep hill. On top of the hill. Oh, pretty flowers. So they have water taro terraces here as well. Oh wow, what a beautiful boat. Oh, girls caught this. Oh, the fish. I didn't get the fishing line. Oh, I lost your hook. No more hook. So these are the guys that sailed from New Caledonia to Vanuatu. And this little thing, there's three of them, fairly young fellas, like mid-20s. The guy in the back is having to steer with his oar. Doesn't even have a rudder. Crazy. Mad buggers. That's all I can say. So we're about to jump in the water and have a snorkel on this bommy right there, that round one. This village, Asanvari, is quite deceiving how big it is. It doesn't look very big in that image there, but it is. There's a lot of people here, and that's Pentecost in the background. So this reef had some of the best fish life and water clarity we had seen pretty much anywhere in Vanuatu. Not that we'd done a huge amount of snorkeling here in Vanuatu, but this certainly took top prize. There's also some really interesting formations coming up soon. So this island of Maewo, in this video and the last one, both showed Maewo, has so many waterfalls, and they are absolutely gorgeous. Love looking at waterfalls, can't get enough of it. The next islands coming up don't have waterfalls, so that's a real shame. I was really getting into it and making it a challenge to find the waterfalls each day. Anyway, the village of Asanvari was also pretty cool. Well worth a visit if you're in the area. So to finish up this video, we'll have one last look at the waterfall beside the boat. Stunning as it was. Just the greenery and the water is always mesmerising. Anyway, the spot that's just coming into view now, that's where we had our hike, our swim, when we were going for a hike. So that's the trail going from right to left. We walked and had a swim in that pool right there. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.